Hello there, I am joined by the CCO of Every Matrix, Marc Burroughes. Welcome into the studio.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
Thank you for coming. Now, Every Matrix has rolled out Bonus Guardian. It's a new tool to help operators maximize ROI on marketing spend while preventing losses caused by bonus abuse. Now, tell us the big problem of bonus abuse and how bad it is in the gambling industry today.
Yeah, I mean, it's a big problem. It's estimated to be in the billions. Bonusing players is a necessity. It's a big part of retaining and acquiring customers. So, it's something that operators are very, very used to doing. At Every Matrix, we believe we're really well positioned to help our operators combat the problem.
And do you feel it's properly acknowledged by operators as a genuine threat?
I'd be surprised if it's not acknowledged by all operators, but of course, how it's addressed and the problem itself really varies depending on the size of the operator and also the markets that they operate in. Obviously, the maturer markets and the bigger operators, they have the resources and the experience and the knowledge to really focus on it. Whereas an operator launching in a new market where they're really focused on building their brand and driving revenue may not be quite as focused on combating the problem.
And let's put some numbers on this. What kind of volume are we losing to bonus abuse each year?
Well, iGaming fraud, around 63% of iGaming fraud is from bonus abuse. So, it is a big problem. Marketing operators, I think around 10 to 20% of their marketing budget is lost to bonus abuse. So, yeah, it's a problem, and it's continuing to grow.
And ultimately, it constitutes a form of fraud, something operators generally have departments to prevent. So why does bonus abuse require a bespoke solution?
Well, a lot of the processes that are in place today are based around manual processes, and many different departments working together to try to deal with the problem of bonus abuse. What our solution does is it builds an AI solution which is really monitoring in the background to try to address all the modern ways of committing bonus abuse. Things like deepfakes, synthetic identities, proxy servers, etc. That needs a modern approach.
And talk us through what Bonus Guardian actually entails. So specifically, what has Every Matrix built into the solution and what has informed its development?
Sure. So we have a bonusing tool called Bonus Engine, and fully integrated into Bonus Engine is our Bonus Guardian product. It's an AI solution, like I say. It basically has two different models. One, which is where it's analysing new players signing up to the operator and also placing first-time deposits. Then also we have a behavioural model where it's analysing player behaviour all of the time and continuously learning and adapting to that behaviour and updating the system to recognise suspicious behaviour from players, which the operator can then study and analyse on the back end and decide what action to take whenever they see any suspicious activity. Historically, operators would need to stop and start campaigns if they saw that there was bonus abuse going on, whereas this allows there to be a level of just background checking without having to stop and start campaigns, which ultimately affects the customer experience.
And with this kind of product, you're dealing with a threat that is constantly evolving, with new tactics and approaches rolled out by the fraudsters. And how have you future-proofed Bonus Guardian?
Well, I mean, the great thing about AI and machine learning is it's adapting, and the more data that's fed through the platform, the more it analyses. Every day that goes by, the system gets more and more intelligent and is able to continue to respond to those forever changing tactics that are used with regards to bonus fraud. So effectively, it's a solution which naturally, by its nature, it's going to be future-proofed. It's going to be able to continue to develop and learn as the market changes.
So speaking of AI there, how much of a threat is AI when it comes to bonus abuse? So you spoke a little bit about deepfake. What examples of that are you seeing at the moment?
So, I mean, we're seeing, synthetic identities being able to much more easily be produced and generated through the use of AI. AI documents, so documents being able to automatically be produced rather than having a team of people having to produce this type of information. So the scale in which bonus abusers can operate is much more, it's huge. Through using AI, and obviously, deepfakes is also an area which is a concern for operators.
And is it a global phenomenon, or is it restricted to mature markets?
No, it's a global phenomenon for sure. It does vary a bit depending on the market. So Brazil, for example, in Brazil the problem is it's 5 times greater than it is in the US market, and it's 10 times greater than in the German market. And then you've got Africa. Africa is also a big problem for bonus abuse. In Africa, it's much more about high volume of bets, of bonuses and deposits. And of course, in terms of the cost, it's lower, but it's still a big problem.
Well, there's such a difference between varying regions there. Do you know why that is?
I mean, it's really, I think just some markets being newer, perhaps are more of a target. Like I said earlier, if you're an operator and you're operating in a newer market, where you're focused on other things other than, managing the bottom line and being focused on what's, potentially you're losing money from, you're more focused on growing your operation. I think that has, an impact on, how much it's targeted by bonus abusers.
And final question. Now, there's always a risk that new safeguards introduce more friction to the end user, which might mean operators ultimately lose customers. How do you make something like Bonus Guardian feel seamless and unintrusive to the end user?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, it's really important, of course. We want to make sure that the player is always having a good experience. And this is what this is all about. I mean, AI and the fact that it's in the background and always running, it doesn't slow down the system, of course, but it gives a lot of data to the operator to be able to take action when they identify bad actors through the system. So rather than having to stop and start campaigns, and having to relaunch them, which is not a great player experience, they can take action through the back-end system without having to, do anything from a front-end perspective. So it should, in theory, be a lot less intrusive and should be a seamless experience.
Thank you so much for your time, Marc.
No problem at all. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
And you.
Bye.